Hey thinkers, let us proceed to our second tutorial where I will be introducing Visual Basic language to you all. Visual Basic is an object-oriented and event-driven programming language. You'll understand these terms better in our walkthrough. Suppose there is an object, for example, a cow. Every object has several properties like height and weight. Let us say that the weight of this cow is 184 kg. The event that takes place is that some person kicks her. After the processing gets completed, the output is that the cow kills the person who kicked her. This is simple. This is an example of object-oriented, event-driven process. Now, let us introduce the IDE, that is Integrated Development Environment of Visual Basic. When you launch Visual Basic, it asks you what kind of project you want to create or which existing or recent project you want to open. We'll start with a standard exe project. The output of a standard exe project is an executable file, that is an exe file that can be executed outside the language too. The IDE contains a form by default. A form is a window, or we can say a container control, as it contains all the controls. For example, a calculator contains all the buttons, the option buttons, and the text box. A form is an object and its properties are given in the right pane. For example, name, appearance, back color, border style, caption, and so on and so forth. This is the Project Explorer, where we see the contents of the project, especially when we deal with several forms on a single project. This is the form layout window that tells us the position of the form on the screen. This is the toolbox that contains some of the commonly used controls by default. And this is the menu bar, of course. To create an exe of the project, we go to the File menu and select Make Project1.exe or the project name.exe. Let us try now. Let us make the exe of this project on the desktop named Project1. Now let's run the exe. As we see, it is just a form window, the form that we saw while on the design time. It can be resized, and once it is closed, the application is closed. Even if we run our project in the Visual Basic IDE, the same thing happens. See, it is a form that can be resized, and when it is closed, exe ends immediately. Now, let us understand the three stages of program development: the design time, the run time, and the break time. The break time is often referred as the debug time. We will use the word stage instead of time. In the designing stage, we create controls on the form and write code for them. In the running stage of a program, we test the program for bugs. Bugs here refer to the errors. See, as we got a bug called type mismatch. Now we are switched to the debugging stage, in which we will debug the code. As you see, the program ran successfully. Now you can enter any name and check if you are a terrorist or not. Now, let us understand what is an object, a property, and an event. In our terrorist detector program, we used 4 controls: a form, a label, a text box, and a command button. We changed the caption of a command button and the label, and we changed the text of the text box. The caption and the text are properties. A property has a certain value that can be of any type. When we click on the command button in the running stage, the statements written under it are executed. We can say that the object, that is the command button, was clicked, or the click event of the command button was fired. That's why we call VB an object-oriented and event-driven programming language.